Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the second part of our story about the balancing and the healing of Europe. First part we showed Sunday. I told you everything how this started with a meditation, a feeling, an intuition of Irene Lutz, who saw Europe as an organism, and already in the late 80s, early 90s, she had the feeling it was falling apart, and she wanted to develop a method for large-scale healing. And well, you can see it in the other part. We developed this method and we worked on many places all over Europe. People from the Dutch government were involved, the Czech government was involved, even Mikhail Gorbachev, he was also involved, and they all felt it was a good thing and they all recognized this organism, Europe. But then everything in 1997, that all collapsed, and we also collapsed. We got sick and we got fighting each other, and I left the Institute for Resonance Therapy, and also my partner Rijk Bols, and everything what started so hopeful and we had so much scientific evidence, well, overnight it was all gone. So that was the finish of the first part, and now I want to pick it up, pick it up from there and go into the present and the future, which I think is very hopeful when we look at possibilities of healing Europe, in which everybody can be involved and which something everybody can also learn. And let's give you some pictures to this, and then we'll start our talk. Here we are again. Let's see, here we are. Okay, so I finished with this picture. There was nothing left anymore. And well, Rijk and me, we were both unemployed, and I felt it was such a pity, so much beautiful things. And I said, why not writing a book? But I will only write a book when I find a publisher. It was already a good sign that I found him in 3 weeks' time. And like I told you last time, we were working with, well, technical devices, radionic devices, and we also worked a lot with fractal geometry. So I thought I would start writing also about the fractals. And I bought a computer, connected it with the internet, and believe it or not, and also asked for a certain sign from the spiritual world if I was on the right path doing this. And this was the first picture I ever got on the screen of my laptop. And it was a beautiful picture. It's a fractal, and I asked for a sign. Is this the sign? And now you see it was all in there, the two spirals we are working with, the feminine and the masculine man, and the future, and it's also in the logo of our Center for ECOintention. It took several years to understand this sign, and it is sometimes also with spiritual signs that don't have so much knowledge, I think, from our daily time. Sometimes things come from the future or lead into the future. But I started writing, and the first book was published. It was in resonance with nature. It was also translated in several languages. It contained many exercises where you could perceive, enhance the energy, and was also the basis of our first teachings, because many people wanted to learn, and I start teaching also with farmers. And afterwards was the second book published, The Universe Loves a Happy Ending, but was even more telling people or showing how they could really work with energy from their heart and with their intention. So more and more we got away from all those technical devices, and we were teaching people first how to heal themselves, and then how to heal their home, their own environment. If they would like, they could heal, organizations and natural reserves, etc. So this was also the reason to start to ground the Center for ECOintention. First, it was called Center for Ecotherapy, but we started to work more and more from agriculture and from forestry in organizations, and they liked the word eco. They recognized it from economics, but they didn't like therapy. So before we could even explain what we were doing, well, we didn't have a lot of problems. That's why we changed the name in ECOintention, and from now on, it's nobody asks anymore to explain what we are doing. So to make it short, this teaching really took off, and it was just a pleasure, because we also, well, I think the whole thing stopped with the ECOintention because we were not enough people. We were only 6 people and we tried to heal Europe. And I always felt we should teach people at site to do this themselves. And we were starting to teach people in an education where everybody was welcome. And over the years, every year we had about 100, 120 students. And it turned out to be a vocational training of 4 years. It was even being recognized by the Dutch government. And we are attracting people also working now on international base, but it all started in the Netherlands. And like I said, this is a nice group of graduates that all are ECOintention practitioners. And it was really fun seeing this picture because already people who are now involved in the project of Healing Europe, like Marianne de Jager, who is also working in the book. Eduard, he started with Letta, also working at Duna Ipui, and this is Nelly Kempe, who is working the office management. This is Linda Mees, who did a lot of work for the Center for ECOintention. This is Christy Duivelaar, also doing a lot of work with the Guardians in the Hungarian projects, and this is Jacqueline Boudens, who is also working on the Duna Ipui project. Well, I will tell you about this later. But already you see, it's not only us, but already a lot more people are involved. And then, this is the most exciting thing. We developed this ECOintention, and this is something everybody can learn, and you can do it everywhere. And you don't need really many technical means because we work with symbols and we have certain, every person has his own energetic toolkits, and you have there symbols or petrified wood for grounding. You can energize, you can work with an organ shooter, with a lamp, or with Reiki. We have transformers, we call them, to open acupuncture points in areas. There's the flower of life, the Sri Yantra crystals you can work. We have informers that offer new problem solutions. You can work with colors, with mandala sound, and a lot of other things more. And we have harmonizers to deblock old patterns and to harmonize stressed energy. And everybody is free to develop his or his own energetic toolkit. So it's a very personal way of healing. And in fact, everybody can do this at home. You can even do this on a camping site because this is what it is. And I don't want to go too far in the whole balancing because that's not the subject of this whole talk. But I just want to show you how simple in a way it is, but it's so effectful because it's all connected with the heart, with our intention and our consciousness. And of course, with the spiritual work in which we are cooperating a lot. So in one way, in ECOintention, we bring together the latest insights from quantum mechanics, morphic fields, zero-point energy, but also old wisdom from ancient cultures to a very practical method what everybody can learn. And also very important, the big difference with resonance therapy, we don't do this alone. So sending the energy from Holland, from Germany, all over the world, because, you know, distance doesn't matter because we work with zero-point energy and with the morphic field. But we also involve the people at site, the guardians of the companies, the CEOs or the forestry people in the forest. And this is a beautiful picture we also developed. And this shows them very much that in fact, this is the guardian and he is attracting and also shaping his own future by his affirmations, his positive thinking. And he's connected with the past, but to be free to go into the future, you also have to transform old patterns. And I show you this picture because this is also very important in relation to the healing of Europe and what is going on at the moment in our world. And of course, I also showed you in the previous talk, we started resonance therapy with a lot of scientific research. We had so many scientists working for us and so much scientific proof, also significant proof that it was almost too much for many people. And in fact, I was leading all this research and one day I got more or less fed up with it. But still also in ECOintention said, well, it's important to really check what we are doing. So nowadays we have questionnaires, We give to our guardians with several questions about the organizations. We give them at the beginning of the project, after 4 months, after 8 months, and after 12, after 1 year. And to make it short, because you can all see this on our website, when it's green, you know, it's an improvement, and when it's dark green, it's even a significant improvement. This was in 31 projects. This was another one in 27 projects. You also see everywhere is improvement. It's also significant. And well, we can be proud of this, but these results we had all over the years, and all those many projects in different countries, in different organizations, and also balanced by different people. So it shows the method is very coherent and also strong and stable, and can be learned and can be taught, and everybody can do this all over this planet. And then, so, yes, this is a very shocking picture, because we were doing this work and we were having fun. We're having those students every year, and we having the projects we were working. And in fact, we almost forgotten why we started all this. And when we started, it was all because these predictions of Irene Lutz of Europe falling apart, and she saw all those floods of refugees coming to Europe. And this is what we saw in 2015. And it was really shocking. And I also lived in Germany, where about 1 million people came over. And in fact, I said to Rijk, you remember Rijk Bols, which also founded the Center for ECOintention. Yes, you remember, this is what Irene Lutz predicted. And in fact, these are the roots of our work. And yes, she said, but the thing is, we started this teaching only also to have a living, because we were both unemployed, but also to train enough people to work on the healing of Europe. And well, it was also a coincidence that already the 100th ECOintention practitioner passed the vocational training in that year. And I always say, when there are 100 monkeys, then everything will take off. So we had the 100 monkeys. And it was really a moving moment, because then we all sat together with these ECOintention practitioners and said, well, this is the story, and you know, this is where we came from the healing of Europe, and this is what's been predicted. It's happening now. But now you are here, and please, will you help us? Can we cooperate in this? And it's still, when I'm telling this, for me, a moving moment, because it was really something we were working for such a long time. And they all said, yes, let's go for it. And this was such a great, well, joy to feel that we were there together. So then we sat down one day, we sat there together, I think it was late 2015, and we took this old map, the whole system of Europe we still had in the archives of our Center for ECOintention. We showed it everybody, and we looked at it. And again, you know, to show you this holon system, and the holons needed organs. And we see, you know, the outer boundaries. You see here, these are the Azores. And also it's here the Mediterranean. You go with Italy, and Crete is not involved in it. And there you see the Black Sea with the Krim. Here is the Ural, the Volga, and it's the northern part of Europe. This was this organism Europe, what we already found in the early 90s, in the late 80s. And again, we also looked for the organs in this. We called it holons. They are whole. And that time we found about 31. And it meant that all these organs were interacting with each other. And it also means very interesting that Russia is also a part of this whole European system. So we are all connected, not only the people, but also nature, the animals, but also the energy. And the energy is flowing through this system and also vitalizing everything. So we took this map, and we were still feeling, is this holon system, this organism Europe, still there, and what's the shape? And then we found something quite peculiar or extraordinary. We found this. So this was what we found in 2016. And if you look carefully, and I will switch back, then you can see that something happened over here. That Turkey was also now a part of this new organism. In fact, it grew and also included Turkey in the organism. And to be honest, we didn't know then what it really meant, but that we felt this with the whole group. And we always say in ECOintention, all together crazy is normal too. Meaning when you're doing this kind of intuitive work and where you're all trained to really check upon each other and to check upon check. And when you feel this with a whole group of well-trained people, well, there must be something there. And something else, we found also a new holon here near Paris. So the old holon was about this, and there was a new holon around here. So we didn't judge it, we just took on, and then we asked again, what is the health, what is now the state of each holon, of each organ of this organism? And this is what we found. Oh no, this is not what we found, because before we did this, we started checking on the boundaries. And like I told you before, already in '93, we found a very strong correlation with the geological structure of Europe. And you already can see it a little bit that these holons are really very much the boundaries, you know, related to what's there on mountains, but even more when you look at the geological structure of the earth crust of Europe. And we won't go in this for detail, and it doesn't fit for 100%, but it really shows that in the organs, the holes of Europe where you live, where I live, that is the energy, the whole characteristics, the atmosphere is really determined by the soil deep down in the earth. And this was the study from '93. So now I'll go back to the health state of Europe at the moment of 2016. And this is what we found. We used the scale for POA. In the early days, it was compatibility, the percentage of organization and adaptation, or to say how healthy is something. And the scale you can see here, it goes up to 100. And like we found negative numbers already in the early '90s, we also included it in this scale. And again, the picture we found is very alarming, because it shows that the only part of Europe that you can still call healthy is the part near the Azores. This part is over here, this is in the yellow. And if you want to go in a nice state where you want to live, you can go to Scandinavia and Finland, because that's still in the orange. But the rest of Europe, when you go to the purple, is a very, very low energy. And very large parts of Europe, in fact, they are taking energy. So the other ones are still more in the positive range, but it shows here everything what is gray and black is in a way sucking energy from its environment. So everything energy is leaking there, and especially to this holon with Turkey, but also around Paris. And you see the main part here is in Eastern Europe, Greece, and etc., and also here in Russia. So meaning what is happening here is affecting everything here, and this is also affecting everything. So what does this mean? Well, we started again, everything is energy. We know this from quantum mechanics, and we know this from all the ancients. They call it life energy. This is the energy what is everywhere, is in your body, flowing through everything. And this energy is also radiating. Everything has a radiance, an aura. And we also showed, and we teach, you can measure this. So when you are in a soil or in a building with high energy, that means everybody is high and up. They are in a good atmosphere, connected with the heart and with the higher destination. But when the energy is low, also people are down. You are feeling weak. And you can also illustrate it with this picture I also showed before. So when the energy is low, people are also low and down. They are more connected with the lower chakras, and also with their fear, their anger, and their sadness. And when the energy is up, people tend to be up and high. They're more connected with the highest chakras, with the heart, and also we call it with the sun, or the guardian angel, whatever you want to call it. But you're more connected with your destiny. We always say it's eco above ego. And eco is the whole. You come from the home you left and you return to, but also the home you're living in. So the higher the energy, the more inspiration is there, and also the more positive thinking and the more communication there is. So when you look from this perspective to Europe, then you can see in most of the parts the energy is low. So from this perspective, you can understand also why people behave as they behave in the present. And especially when you look to Eastern Europe and also there in Turkey, in such a low energy, people are not open for cooperation. They are afraid for everything strange coming from outside, like I showed you on Sunday with the trees. You know, you're open for invasion. So what you do, you shut down and you shut off. And this is exactly what is happening in Hungary and also at the moment when you look at Italy. So it's not about judging. When you want to heal, you should not judge. It's not urteilen. You should heal and nicht teilen. And this is the same with here. So it's explainable from the energy, from the state of the art, how people think and how they are. And why this energy is low, I think there are many, many causes. And one of it is another one. Then we go back to this picture I showed you also yesterday. It's all about healing. To make whole is connect, say heaven and earth, or the feminine with the masculine, the yin and the yang. Involve the two opposites to bring them together. So that means when they are there, it's whole. But then when something is whole, you can go to a higher level. By a transformation, you can connect with a higher spiritual level, and you can call this holy. And why is this important now? Because we do about 100 projects every year. And we always ask a project, where are you going to? It sounds strange, but a project always also has a kind of consciousness. It has a morphic field you can get information from, and you can even have a talk with. So it shows that we can reach our destination, but not from improving from bad to good or from good to better. They all show we can get there, but only by change. So all the projects we are balancing, they say we can get to our goals and our destiny, but only by change. So it means that you can find the problem solutions, but you have to be connected with a higher level. And this is also, again, what Einstein said before, what Ken Wilber says, and many spiritual people say. We have to find most of the time the very complex problems, you have to find a solution 1 or 2 levels higher. So this is also exactly what is going on in Europe now. We can find solutions for the problems nowadays, but we have to go 1 level higher. And this is already happening. So there are many inspirational people offering this. But the whole thing of transformation has the but. Because 1 step up also needs 1 step down. So the solution may be 1 level higher, but the cause is also 1 level down. The cause of many problems we are facing also in Europe are in our basement. They are connected with our past and they are down in the soil. So many, many old things from our past are coming up to the surface. You see, and again, you have this belly feeling with anger, with sadness. I think many people are connected with these energies coming down up from the grounding, and they want to be seen, they want to be transformed. And this is also a thing that causes fear and anxiousness. So this thing is going on a large scale in Europe. So there is little energy and many old patterns are coming to the surface and they want to be seen, put in the light, to be transformed. So what can we do about it? Well, I think we can do a lot about it, and it all starts first with yourself to really heal yourself, because you heal as well as you're whole yourself. But again, ECOintention was developed for large-scale healing, and we really developed a method for doing it in such a way. And like I showed you already, we already balanced 40,000 hectares in the late 90s in Russia. And we're also doing these projects all over the time we were there. And again, it shows that what we are doing seems to be quite unique. We did research all over the world. We had other people, investors, say, well, what you are doing, we never found somebody else, another organization, who's working on such large scales, but also with so many effects like you have, and you also have a way to explain it and to teach us. So this way, it seems to quite unique what we do and also what I feel, but we are open for sharing. So then again, with all this knowledge and experience and with these people, okay, when we have only one needle from acupunctural point of view, if we start healing Europe, then where can we put this needle? Are there important acupuncture points? Well, points, when you talk about healing of Europe, is not points. You should talk about areas, about regions. So we did a lot of testing. And here you see a picture with many colors. And we asked in each holon how important it is for the healing of Europe. So when would you start? And you see, the more brighter the color is, the more you turn in the yellow, the more important it is. And what we found, that at the moment for the healing, the present state Europe, is this holon 29 is the most important one. And 29 is just at random, although it's 9, it's a nice number. And the other one that also showed to be very important is this holon around Paris. It's interesting that we all did this research before Emmanuel Macron, he turned into president. But again, so first we concentrated on this holon 29. And when I zoom in, you can see that this holon 29 is in fact, its large parts of Hungary is connected with the Lake Balaton. Even the largest part of Slovakia is there. And also southern Poland is there with Krakow. And this is even called the Old Small Poland, and Krakow being the former capital of Poland. So we found this, but where to start? Because we didn't know anybody. And we wanted to develop the projects. And like the years before, then when Marion von Wienert got in the airplane and, well, went to Bohemia to develop the projects there, we also got there and without knowing, but we were not beside at Naples, and we went there. And well, we went to Budapest because we knew some people there in Hungary, and we also knew Erwin Laszlo, with whom we worked, and also balanced the Club of Budapest. He wrote some nice works for me in my book, but he was not really connected with people, you know, who could offer us the projects. So, but the next step we went to, that was the Integral European Conference in also in Hungary. And the integral movement is based on the work of Ken Wilber, most of you may know. And there we met Szili Lohás and Sandra Verep, both Hungarian ladies, beautiful. And they said, we can help you. So the connections were there. And they both said, well, you should go to the Duna-Ipoly National Park. That's a very important place also for us Hungarians. And because the Dunahub is flooding there, but moreover, in this national park is also for us one of the most important energetic areas. We call it Dobo Goken. And for us, it's the heart chakra of the world. And even the Dalai Lama, he said words about it. The Dalai Lama said it's also a very strong earth acupuncture point. So this was a great thing. We already found this plot and we started going there and feeling it could be very important. And yes, it was also a very shamanistic place where many people do their rituals. It was very strong. And also, I don't show it here, it was the old king city, Visegrad, is also in this holon. So it's a place with a really strong cultural connection, but also energetically. And the other place where Sandra Verep lives by, she said you could also go to the Buk National Park. The Buk National Park, Buk means beach, and it's one of the largest areas near Eger. It's a famous town where the most of the Buk are growing. It's a beautiful area with a lot of karst mountains, but also with many, many caves. It's the same also in Duna-Ipoly. And this is what I forgot to tell, because when we were doing this whole research, we were still very much connecting. We call it the spirit of Europe, or the Deva of Europe, to be guided where to go. And also when we connected with this whole on 21, we were always told, take in the water, looking for places with water, and also go deep in the earth. Also, when you balance, know that also the energy goes into the caves. So we already found 2 areas with water and also with caves. And also with very rare animals living there, bears and wolves and lynx. I don't know if we will meet them on our magical mystery tour, but there's a lot of miracles happening in our work, so be aware what's going on. So we already had 2, but then again, well, we always, before we can start balancing, we always want to have permission of the authorities. This is always the way we work. We never do any balancing without permission of the authorities of the place. So the next step was we went to the direction of the Dunaipuhi National Park, and also we asked for a meeting with the people, the directors of the Buk National Park. And we already met a lot of Hungarian people say, well, we don't give you any chance. There's so much bureaucracy, and they're all have their own mindset. And in a way, it was true. Although the people in the park and the director was very open, and they really wanted to cooperate with us, but they said, well, we are now, the Ministry of Environment, of Agriculture is in charge in Hungary, and they won't allow you to work here. And that, in fact, was true. So then, a very, very important next step happened. So already we left the path of working with technical devices, and we started working more and more with people at site. And in this way, we also wanted to involve the direction of the parks. But then the Hungarians said, well, we told you, they won't cooperate, but we want to cooperate with you. And this is a national park. So it's also part of our nation, and we are wholeheartedly involved with this. So why can't we not be the guardians? And this was really something, we didn't think about. This was possible. And again, we sat with the whole group of ECOintention practitioners. And again, we connected with Lady or Queen Europe or the spiritual world and everything else. And we asked, is this possible? And it was such an overwhelming yes what came. When there are people there, who are wholeheartedly involved and really have foot on the ground, who are living there, are really walking through this forest, also seeing it and being connected, they can be the guardians. So this was something, the next step in this whole new project, to work with groups of people at site who will do, the work and do the affirmations. I will come to this. And also we got away from the official boundaries from the national parks, and we also, in connection with the energies of this national park, which were very strong and very cooperative, we were looking for core areas in these areas. And this is the area we found in the Buk National Park. And then we started balancing, and the balancing of this park was started also with Eduard Sartorius and also Marianne de Jager and Letta Wagenborg. And here you see a graph. I won't explain it, but also in this new way of working, we can really keep track in what we are doing in the balancing. So we really know what we are doing, what each step is affecting in the energy, and also know when there's a state of coherence in these parks are reached. And well, of course, we went there because we wanted to work with the people. And here on the right, you see Sandra Verep, and she's standing just on the border of the energy, where behind her is the balanced area and before it's non-balanced. And we will also perceive how strong this demarcation is when you work with energy. And we also feel it on our magical mystery. And here is Christy Duivelaar. Christy is playing an important role, having the connection with all the Hungarians. And I know her for many years, and she always said, I do ECOintention to work in Eastern Europe. And the moment there were no projects at all, but how come Christy is also the only person in our whole group who speaks Hungarian? So how is this? It's all meant to be. And together with Sandra and the other Hungarian, we have several control plots. we go there. And of course, we started people teaching the other guardians to feel the energy of the trees, how to perceive, and that they can also cooperate with us to perceive the energy at site and to give us feedback what is happening. You see, ECOintention works day and night, also in the winter time. And of course, we also taught the guardians, we introduced them in the whole principles of energetic guardianship, which are described in my book, The Universe Loves a Happy Ending. We told them about the morphic field, how you can connect on a distance over your intuition and sending your intention, how you can connect with your heart, with any place on earth. So when you concentrate, on this book, national park, or the area where you're balancing and connecting with your heart and with your intentions, it has a huge effect. So these guardians, they come together, they sit one day a week on a special time, they all concentrate, connect with the field wherever they are, and all together they're sending their love and their positive affirmations to the forest. And every month they come together, and Christy is also there in a Skype talk to have new affirmations and to really be focused on what is happening at site and how can we really direct the energy. So you see, this is the whole cooperation. So Letta and Marianne, they were sending the energy from Holland to the project, but people at site are directing it because it's their forest, it's they give meaning to the energy. And it's all done, you see, it's all, summarized in this picture. The same way we are working in a Duna-Ipui National Park, and we also had this shape we found, and you see also the Dunahub, the river, is also incorporated, so the energy of the water is also charged and balanced by it. And there also the work is done by Carina Hendricks and by Jacqueline Boudens, who are balancing this project. And we also have the control plots over there. And here you see Silly Loash. Silly is, well, it's a huge beach standing there. She's not so large, but she's larger than you have the impression on this picture. And here she's working also with Linda Mays, doing the check on the readings of the trees in the area. And here you see the Dunahoop, and also want to show you, this is Visegrad, the old king's city with a castle also on top of the hill, which we also will visit. It's a very special place when we're doing the tour. So then we had 2 projects already there, but what we also heard together, connecting this. So we wanted to do something for Europe. It's already a crazy idea for such a big whole. And we were, well, guided to this whole on 29. And then we were also, we heard, in connection to talk, we should develop at least 3 projects. 3 large-scale projects were needed to have something that could be strong enough to enhance the energy in the whole and later for whole Europe. So in fact, it was all going step by step. First, we needed to have these projects. They needed to be strong enough in the energy, and then they could be connected. But it was really taking off in Hungary, and we felt, where is the 3rd project? So another time, again, we sat together with the whole group of practitioners who were involved in this, and we were really looking, feeling, because we learned to sense on the map, okay, we have 1 project here, and we have 1 project here, and by sensing the energy, we felt the other 1 project would somewhere over here. And this is still the map, and you can still see the cross here, which I put down on the map in southern Poland. And here you can see Krakow. And this was the place we found was really the center of this 3rd project. And again, with all of us, we were looking, feeling the boundaries, and this is what we found. Not knowing then how large it is. It was a huge project, because when I zoom in, you can see it here. You can also see it was the only place really over here where there was a lot of water involved. And now you say, hey, listen, there are a lot of cities here. Are you balancing cities? Well, This is again ECOintention, because with the method you can send the energy so precise that you can keep out all, public spaces, all houses, everything where people are involved. And we learned this also by balancing. We had projects where we balanced all the trees in cities in Holland, also the chestnut trees. So it's possible with ECOintention to direct the energy in such a way that you only get the energy to the chestnuts or only to the trees in a certain city. And only, for instance, in the public domain. And we are working in such a way already with the public government in cities in Holland, which is quite exciting and very positive. So the method, what we are balancing here is leaving out all the places where people live, also the cities. But then again, how large is this? And well, everybody in Holland. So when you take the same shape and the same scale, then you really see how large this project is. And this is interesting. Now it's getting stuck on my computer. I have to little get out of here to see if I can get it back. Oh, it doesn't work. I have to stop it here. Okay, I will go back and show you this other picture, and we do it differently. Go here and we go run again through the whole one, and there, oh my God, I was a little bit over here. Where are we? I will show you. It was so shocking that the whole PowerPoint got stuck. Where am I? There we go. It's over here. Then again, and this is the next picture I wanted to show you. This is over here. So when I go back and you take it over here, this is the shape of this project. We are balancing the size in Poland, and it's almost as large as the province of Utrecht in Holland. So then again, you say, well, is this possible? And I can tell you it is possible. We were there checking the energy also with the people who were doing this. And we started balancing this. And Linda Quay and other Anneke Aardegeest are balancing this project in the West Basket Mountains. And we went there with Anneke and with Linda over here, and also with Theo Hoyer, who will play another role in this project. We went there already to check the energy, to really perceive, is the energy landing there? And is it going there where we wanted it to go? And in fact, it does. It really is getting into the water, having the energy on the land and the trees, not in the cities. And also what we discovered, there are beautiful mountains there, and all these mountains are very strong energy points. Now, most of them are connected with the Maria energy. And it's also a very Catholic region. Many people are still going to the churches. It's a very spiritual place. And we had very, very special, meetings there and experiences in this area. And we also will have when we go there. But the thing was, we didn't have the guardians there. And we started this project because the other two were really taking off. And we said, okay, we can only do this when there are guardians. And then again, we went back to the other Integral conference in 2018. And then we met Bożena Wójcik. She was a Polish lady, is still involved. And she introduced us to the people of Buru Aranya, difficult word to say. It's an eco-village also in the project. And they showed up to be the guardians for this beautiful project in the southern Poland. And they also do very, very special things. It's not only an eco-village where they will live with the land, but this very unfertile soil, they really fertilized it and made it very, it's like almost a kind of Findhorn story, because they do Agni-Yotra rituals with sunrise and with sundown. And this old ritual coming from the aura, from the Vedas, is something they really live from the heart, and it's a very strong energy. It's also doing activations of certain energy points in this project. And it was so moving meeting them, because I went there and I said, well, hello, why did it take you so long to get here? We are waiting for you 20 years. Because we were also guarded to this area as being a very important area for Europe. And that's why we start our eco village here, and that's why we are doing our rituals. And now perhaps we can work together with you. Well, isn't this an amazing story? So then we had the 3 projects going on in Holon 29. And they were all getting more and more in the energies, and we felt they were strong. And then at a certain moment, I think it was somewhere last year already, the beginning, people, we felt the 3 of them were strong enough that they wanted to be connected, as if a kind of healing system wanted to be emerge when the 3 projects were connected and really could be 1 and 1 and 1 is 3 to have a larger whole. And we found this, and we found Theo Hoyer and Sylvia Moose. They started balancing this so-called healing system of Holon 29, connecting the 3 projects in one. And now you can see on this picture, you see the one project is here in Poland, and this is in Dunajipui, here's the book. They are connected now, and just in the middle of these, and now you also see why we needed this triangle, is a new area opening up and also getting more and more energized. And this is also a part of the magical mystery to retake it, because this is quite new. This is all happening now. And the energy is not really 100% over there, but that's also why we go there, to be there and to affirm the energy. Our presence is needed there. And the tour will take us from the south of Poland, and when we go to cross the Tatra mountain and go on our way to this region. It's beautiful there. We go on a tour and crossing the Tatras, and of course we will also visit the higher Tatra to perceive the energies over there and also connect it with this whole healing system over there. But the tour will take us, you know, and we will also stay in Poprad. But then the central area is this area over here, but just where this point was, it's also so remarkable because this area shows to be one of the most remote regions of Slovakia, where there is very, very little buildings. And in fact, there's only one road going into this area and a lot of footpath you can enter. So we were there a few weeks ago for the first time, and I was there with Theo Hoyer, and we even needed a permission. We didn't have a permit, so we really got off the road and we wanted to eat. And how, you know, how beautiful again. This is synchronicity. We met a person there and he said, "Where are you going here?" I said, "Well, you want to go there? We need a permit." And we go, "Well, I have a permit. You can get mine for a day. I will help you." See, it's almost incredible how, you know, everything falls together. And we went into this area, and it was quite moving because when you perceive the energy over this screen, and most of you can do, it's not so very energized, but we really felt there was a big energy, a kind of deva coming with us. And this deva really landed almost on this field. And this is really, for me, a very moving picture because you see Theo standing there in connection with this energy. It was kind of like a huge UFO landing on this field there, and we could really feel it was there. This is also the place where we will go and do rituals there and be connected with the energy and to make it stronger. And then was the most extraordinary thing. Quite near this area, there's one of the largest ice caves of the world. How can it be? You know, again, you know, we were told the caves are of huge importance. So there are many caves in this area. We were also told the water is important. So here is the water in a cave. And this water is ice. It's an extraordinary energy, an extraordinary environment to be there. And we also visit the area over there. Now, well, I'm finally coming to the end of this talk. And I hope you found, well, for me, it's very inspiring that we now working on the healing of Europe with this ECOintention method that everybody can learn in such a way that we have a whole group of people, we are doing this together. So it's not any longer 6 of us getting sick of it. Now it's a lot of group and we're having fun. We are supporting each other and we are really also 1 and 1 is 3 in this. So we called the project project Europe Energetics, and also better known as Help to Heal Europe. We have a small website now. It's all in the beginning. And you can really join, an existing Guardian group, develop new healing projects, start a Guardian group, and also please help to sponsor this project because it's all done voluntary, but it's still, we need also money to get it organized for the website, for the teachings of the people at site. Because it's not stopping here, we're already starting projects in other hollands. We're also working out a primal forest, Bialowica, near Poland, on the Dutch Hansrug, etc. And of course, come along with us on our ECOintention Magical Mystery Tour at the end of August. The program will be on our website and also on the Help to Heal Europe website, because we will have fun there, but it's so important that we go there. Our importance, your presence is needed there, because by your presence, your transformation potential, you affirm the energy, you'll be connected with the people there, but we also affirm the energy in all the places where we are, that will really contribute to the healing of Europe. That's the main reason why we are organizing this tour, not because we have nothing to do and it's something, well, just to have fun. No, it's really an essential part of this whole journey we are taking. So I really hope there's still places people will join the work. Because, this is the day I started this talk with fractal geometry. And we came to that in the fractal geometry, it's also math and science. We learn that even the wings of a butterfly can cause, have a huge effect and cause a whirlwind and an orkan in the long run. That's the whole idea about, meteorology of prediction. And this is all shows to be true, that the smallest input can have the largest effect on the long run. And this is really the summary of my talk. I really think, our hearts and our thinking, mind moves matter, and doing this together, we can really join and contribute to the healing of our world, which I think is really in serious danger, to be honest. And we only have 10 years time to turn the coin, to flip it. And we can do this together. So please help and join us in this journey. Thank you very much for watching, and we hope to contribute all to this beautiful work, to the organism of Europe to start with, and we do this for Center for ECOintention. Thank you for watching, and we'll stop the recording now, and we have some questions after.